Factorising quadratics. Now, with quadratic expressions, it is sometimes possible to factorise them into double brackets. Now remember, factorising means we put them in brackets, but with a quadratic, it ends up in two brackets. So x squared plus 7x plus 12 is equal to x plus 3, x plus 4. Now in order to do this, we need to look at the coefficient of x. Now the coefficient of x is 7. It's how many x's there are in the expression. And the other thing we need to look at is the constant term. And the constant term is the number at the end, so the number that doesn't have anything to do with x. Now to factorise this, we need to look at two numbers that multiply to give 12, multiply to give the constant, and add to give the 7, the coefficient of x. And we can see those numbers are 3 and 4, because 3 times 4 is 12, and 3 add 4 is 7. So that's why it ends up being x plus 3 and x plus 4. Let's look at another example. So factorise x squared plus 5x plus 6. So we need two numbers that multiply to give 6 and add to give 5. Because these are the numbers we're looking at. The 5 and the 6 need to multiply to give the constant number at the end and add to give the 5. The best way to do this is think about the numbers that multiply to give 6. Well, we've got 1 and 6, and 2 and 3. Which of those add to give 5? We can see that it's going to be the 2 and the 3. So the way we factorise this is we have an x in each bracket, and these two numbers, one is a plus 2 and one is a plus 3. Let's do another one. Factorise x squared plus x minus 6. So again, we want numbers that multiply to give, and this time it's minus 6, and add to give 1. So we've got a minus 6 is our constant, and plus x, well that's 1x. Even though the 1 isn't there, we don't write the 1 in algebra, so it's 1. As before, we want to look at the numbers that multiply to give minus 6. Or we could have minus 1 times plus 6, or we could have 1 times minus 6, or we could have 2 times minus 3, or we could have minus 2 times 3. Which of those add together to give plus 1? Well, the only pair that add together to give plus 1 are minus 2 and 3. So our answer, as before, we've got two brackets, each with an x in, and the numbers are minus 2 and plus 3. Let's point out now that it doesn't matter which way round you write your answers, as long as they are right. So we could have written x plus 3 and then x minus 2. Okay, number 1, x squared minus 5x minus 6. So again, numbers that multiply to give minus 6, but this time they need to add to give minus 5. So numbers that multiply to give minus 6 are, again, minus 1 and 6, 1 and 6, minus 2 and 3, and 2 and minus 3. This time we want the numbers that multiply to give, add to give minus 5. And the only one, oops, thought I couldn't see it, is 1 and minus 6. So as before, our answer is two brackets, each with an x. One will be a plus 1 and one will be a minus 6. And one last one. X squared plus 7x plus 6. So we want numbers that multiply to give plus 6 and add to give minus 7. So numbers that multiply to give 6, well that's 1 and 6 and 2 and 3. But if we look at that, neither of them are going to add to give minus 7. So we need more options. Now if you remember back to the first topic when we looked at negative numbers, if I want numbers to multiply to give a positive, they're either both positive or both negative. So we could also have minus 1 and minus 6 and minus 2 and minus 3. Now we can see that minus 1 and minus 6 add to give minus 7. So our answer is two brackets, each with an x in. One needs a minus 1 and one needs a minus 6. Whoops.